Welcome, guys. Today is 24th of August, and this is a topic I was initially supposed to discuss with Kapil Raj during Guru Purnima, but somehow that session did not happen. It's the most important topic which can save the lives of hundreds and thousands of people if taken seriously. Today, we are going to expose not astrologers, but the malpractices done by most astrologers in the name of astrology. And we have with us a man, let's call him Mr. A. He's sitting right here. I think this is his shirt. Okay, he's not going to come in front of camera. But he has been into astrology for 10, 15 years, sir? 17 years. Okay. And he comes from the north segment of India, where many of these practices, like in Bengal, everywhere, these practices, Assam, these practices are common. At the same time, he knows a lot of the top astrologers of India. Many people who are students of these astrologers, he knows them personally also. He knows the astrologers. He has traveled all over India. He has met yogis, agoris, everybody, black magicians. Whenever I want the horoscope of people who perform black magic, I consult him. He gives me the horoscope. That is when I want to test a combination in the astrological combination. So, Mr. Abe, you've been 17 years into astrology. I just want to start off first with, do you feel happy getting into astrology after meeting astrologers?
Difficult question, I would say. On a personal level, my journey in astrology has been very fantastic. Because of astrology, I have met number of beautiful people, and that is what I would like to focus on. I'm a person who ignores or shuns negativity. So, but yeah, that's a part which is actually the reality of life, reality of the journey that I had been. There are people who are not only maligning the name of astrology, but they perhaps they don't have the idea that ruining their own life and that the life of their family. Because when you say malpractices in astrology, how do you define it basically?
That's a good point.
I mean, exploitation on the name of remedial measures, on the name of puja. Because one thing is very clear, it's the faith which takes the hit when the astrologer is not able to deliver what he or she promises.
It's like going to a shop,
yes,
buying a clothes.
There is no after sales service.
There's no after sales service. No guarantee.
No guarantee.
When we go to we as astrologers, we go to a shop, we buy a cloth or an electronic item, and if that electronic item is not working, we come back to the store and we ask for refund.
Refund, right?
Okay. Or
here, there is no refund.
Yes, there's no refund, no guarantee.
Now, a typical, I would say, just for the viewers, so that they benefit, my analysis and my experience meeting both good and bad people of this field has been that there are some who have become champions in fooling people. Yeah, champions. When I say champions, because it's a perfect business model. Let's admit this is a model which requires no investment. There are only dividends.
What is the business model, or what are the different business models that you have seen?
Okay. For example, I know a lady astrologer in West Bengal.
Okay.
Can't name her. It's like her form of astrology is completely based on gemstones.
Okay.
Like the moment anyone approaches her for a reading, the fees is very minimum. That is around 150 to 200 rupees.
That's it.
That's it.
So do you think so that is one of their traps?
Yes.
Low fees?
Low fees. Okay. Now,
or no fees.
You can say no fees or no fees, whatever. Now, and I have seen very educated people, engineers, doctors, heart specialists, going to her, approaching her for the reading. She's not bad in astrology. Her astrological knowledge is, I would say, it's good. But here's the catch that when you approach her, she will read your chart. She will say so and so problem is there for this, you need to buy so and so gemstone, but you have to buy it through me.
Oh.
If the gemstones does not works, I'll refund your money. Maybe 80% of the money will be refunded, but after 6 months.
After 6
months. I'll tell you what's the model now.
Okay.
Suppose you go to her. She will give you the gemstones. Now, let me also, the jewelers are also involved in this. Okay. It's a complete chain. Okay. Now, there are two types of stones. There are a genuine one and one which are called as, you go into the market for a pukraj. On an average, if you want to get a good pukraj, that will cost you somewhere around 20,000 rupee or 20,000. The same thing, if I'm giving you in, say, maybe 10,000 rupees, of course, it's lucrative.
Correct.
Now, there are some sort of stones
so the astrologer will tell you that,
yes,
hey, other people mark up and sell it, but I'm giving you the original price.
One at a very cheap rate. The thing is, these stones,
cost price. I'm giving you a cost price.
Come from Thailand.
Okay.
They are heated. You get it in plenty in Banaras. I mean, in any shop you go, you ask, you want a pokraj or something, 300 rupees, 400 rupees.
I presume Brihat Samhita or somewhere I read, I don't remember now, heating of the stone is not allowed.
Heating of the stone is not. There is a complete process of gems. Why gemstones does not work, that I'll come later on. Okay. The thing is, now there's a profit margin. If I am paying 10,000 rupees to an astrologer who is giving me the stone, there's a profit margin of not less than 8,000, 8,500 per stone, because the stone will cost you only 2,000 rupees. Okay. It's given to you. You will come back saying, sir, nothing is happening. You have given maybe 10,000, but 10,000 is a very small amount that I'm quoting. Generally, she quotes, she gives around 3 to 4 stone recommendation. That comes to 75, 80,000. So the 75, 80,000,
okay,
the lump sum money that you have given, that will be invested in share market. The money will be, used to make more money. By the time you come back, she will return your money. But she has already made maybe a lakh rupees on your money.
Oh my God.
This is something that I know from a very close, because one of her close relative is a very good friend of mine, and he's the one who told this is the model actually which my auntie is following.
My God, these are crooks, man.
Yeah, this is one.
This I did not know. I never heard this, but it's of course, I know quite a few, but now, this is really
75,000 you must have given her for all stone. She might return you say 65,000 somewhere, claiming 10,000 rupees as the making charge for the stone, because labor must have made it, so she needs to give them the care. That's how it is working. Yeah, she's working fine. She is very affluent. So that's how people are cheated. Second thing, on the name of puja. This is a very, very weak point, because Indians by birth are very vulnerable when it comes to matters of faith.
Correct. And especially religion.
Religion, basically. And it's basically saying that, okay, my fees is 200 rupees, 300 rupees. People go, then you say nice words. Basically, you're not an astrologer, you're a motivational speaker. Let's admit it. Like, if you are able to predict events, you're an astrologer. But majority are only into motivational speaking. Okay. This will happen. Why not? If you work hard, it's that for this, saying this thing, you don't need astrology. Yeah.
It's just being positive. These days it's become very common in the West.
Just feeding your ego, which is,
it's more counseling than.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, Mr. A, is in the West, even the Vedic astrologers from India, okay, are promoting this concept of super counseling.
Yeah.
Little counseling, yes, I agree. But the super counseling, everything's possible, be positive, speak positive and all that. It's become a bit too, new agey. Yeah.
So this is there, and on the name of puja. Now the thing is, when the puja factor comes, now there are yagyas, homas, then there are yantras, then there is something called as kavach. Kavach is not popular in western part of the country or the southern part of the country. It is more popular as a remedy in eastern India or northeast. Now kavach has to be made,
kavach is like a metal that you wear.
It's not a metal.
It can be anything.
It is a container. Metal is the container.
You wear taviz or something like that.
Taviz is a little different. Kavach I mean, the yantra, the deity is worshipped, and it is a tremendous amount of hard work. And in a year, maybe a person who's specialized in making kavach may be able to make it, maybe 4 to 5 covers, because there is a tremendous amount of hard work which is needed. I mean, there is amount
You
of
remember
1
that
lakh.
guy? You remember that guy from Northeast? You, me, and one more guy. We were supposed to travel.
Uh-huh.
I forget his name.
Yes,
Very
yes,
old
right,
man.
Mr. Chaudhary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That man. I was supposed to meet this rare gentleman who has traveled all over the world, and especially in Tibet and
yes,
Nepal, and he knows the rare art of creating kavach. And it is so complicated. We were supposed to interview him. He first agreed. I still remember that time I did not have money. Then later I thought, no, me and I forget his name, Parijat. Okay. We decided, okay, we will do it. I will come down. Then finally, it somehow did not happen. He did not agree to open up on camera. So that was the thing. I wanted him to expose these guys out because, anyway, please continue, sir.
So this kavach, it is made in three materials: gold, silver, maybe copper. Now, regarding the gold is expensive, so that takes a cost of some 25,000-30,000 there. And apart from that, there are ingredients which are used in kavach. One of them being lal chandra. It's one of them. According to the deity, the ingredients are changed. Now there is a havan performed. Now there is a complete japa done. That's every kavach has a different number. So that number of chantings need to be done before you perform the havan, and then you do the pran pratishtha or the energizing the kavach on a particular day with a particular nakshatra in accordance with the panchang basically, and then you give it to your client or user. Now, entire process takes somewhere around 3 months. Now, if it is 3 months, logically speaking, how are you able to produce 10, 15, 20, 100 kavach within a year? Now, coming to this, either that means you are not doing it, you are outsourcing to different people. Now, I'm coming to East, how people are working there. If I am an established astrologer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some village astrologer who is expert in it. I will just pay him 5,000, maybe not even 5,000, maybe 500,000 rupees. I'm going to charge 50, 60, 70,000 from my client, digesting the entire sum of money. And that's how.
Yes, I've heard this. I've seen this also. Yeah.
So
this kavach thing, 3 months process. Let me now clarify and ask a stupid question. Isn't the kavach supposed to be a personalized process?
It is a personalized process, but it is taken by the name. I mean, you take the client's name, you take the client's gotra, and then you do the pran pratishtha. So anyone who is well versed in this, he or she will be able to do it.
But people say, okay, you want to buy kavach? Astrologer just removes the kavach and gives it to you.
Yeah, astrologer is the middleman. Understand this. That man who is working hard to make that kavach, he's the main person, but he's never in the picture.
No, at the same time, where is he personalizing it?
Yes.
Because when you go to an astrologer, he removes it and he gives it to you instantly.
That is something which has come as a fast food. Fast food thing. Fast food remedy, you can say. That's how.
Which is not the Vedic way.
Which is not the Vedic way. It is not even the Tantric way.
Let me also add in here. I know some people who know this game plan.
Yeah.
So what they do is they'll say, oh, I have spent 6 months preparing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, give me 1 day. I will now infuse it with your name.
That is, the entire Vedic, it has a discipline, it has a code, which under no circumstances can be broken. Same with Tantra. Tantra, people malign it, this, because of course, like astrology, even Tantra has got a bad name because of tantrics indulging in, you can say sexual activities, openly indulging with alcohol. Those things are a part of Tantra. You cannot hide it. But Tantra has been delivered from the mouth of Shiva for the betterment of humanity. So something that has come out from Shiva cannot be, wrong. It is the people who are using it for their own selfish interest, money basically, and power. That's how the entire the science, or you say the spiritual subject, gets the bad name.
Tantra, people who practice Tantra, coming to astrology and astrologers, these days, especially these days, many people are astrologers on the outside.
Yes.
But inside they are tantrics.
Yes.
What kind of percentage do you see that in India?
Majority in East India, they fancy it to display that you are a tantric.
Oh, so it's like
in Jaipur also. I'll come to Jaipur also,
okay,
because I've been to Jaipur recently. I saw it. Yeah. So it's kind of a macho feeling. You know, I am a person who has that X factor.
Okay.
It's like it's like saying wearing a Levi's jeans and maybe wearing a local brand.
So it's like you have something, you flaunt it.
You flaunt it. Basically, the problem is you kind of present yourself as someone who's capable of changing
your destiny.
Your destiny. Okay. And I, like, for example, on television channel, a lot of astrologers and tantrics come on. I have heard some crazy things that I can put one planet from this house to that house. And that's crazy. That's something absurd. You are born with it. That's your chart. How can you change the planetary positions by puja and all?
Give me some examples of what these astrologers who are also tantrics, what kind of, what is their, modus operandi?
Modus operandi is very
Vashikaran, this, that, what is their modus operandi?
Common thing is they will straight away say that there's a black magic. Now, Indians are superstitious. We kind of believe it.
Black magic or nazar dosh?
Nazar dosh lag gaya hai.
Nazar dosh is evil eye.
Evil eye. Black magic ho gaya hai. Koi kuch aap pe kar raha hai, etc., etc. See, majority of the cases I have seen, it's not there. In some cases where genuinely something has gone wrong, those cases are very serious. And when those cases are serious, it is, I can give it to you in writing, 99% of the astrologers won't be able to solve it. It is beyond their ability. These things are very specific in nature, and you require some sort of specific skill to deal with them. I mean, by just suggesting gems and suggesting puja, one who is already under that effect, how he or she will do the puja?
Exactly. You can't ask a person who's on bed to start running.
Exactly. So the role of astrologer in these cases are very limited. Rarely, in my experience, I've seen only 4 or 5 people who are capable, who are good, equally good astrologers and equally good tantrics, but they've kept it hidden. People who advertise, people who flaunt,
avoid them.
Avoid them
Completely. I mean,
because
I know you.
Tantra works on a code. The code is secrecy. You cannot flaunt. You cannot name your guru. You cannot name yourself. I mean, when you are given a tantric initiation, your name is changed. You are given a name. And when you meet another tantric aspirant, you speak in a code language, the first code language, like you ask, what's your guru's name? What's your name? And if the reply comes and if it's like accepted, okay, you are from, then you can start a tantric discussion or maybe discussion of likewise subjects. Otherwise, you are supposed to keep quiet. You are not supposed to open up. I mean, I find it's very funny that these days on Facebook, people upload their puja and all. It's completely against Tantra. It is very strict. You cannot, because the puja of Tantra takes place, majority of the puja takes place at the sunset. And that has to be secret, very secret. It's not an open that you...
I know you since so many years. Yeah. I know you're from Northeast.
Yeah.
You told me so many cases of black magic.
Yes.
Okay. It's so common in Northeast Bengal, everything. I see the young ones.
Yes.
A boy or a girl falling in love.
Yes.
Then there is break. Then the boy wants the girl
back.
Or the reverse. Yes. The girl wants the boy.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
So are you giving a remedy for that? Are you saying don't do that over here? You don't do that at
what happens in that is the people who make money, are the ones who are astrologers in the guise of tantrics.
Yeah.
They'll offer upayas, they will give all the pujas, okay? And this is so rampant today. So rampant, especially with the fast lifestyle we lead. Okay, it's so rampant. People are ready to do anything. Can you give me an example? You know, because I can give 10 examples, but here we are interviewing you. So, can you give me an example that has happened in your life? You know, that you know of as any friend or anybody.
I'll speak of someone who is highly qualified. Someone, passed out from a very prestigious management institute. I'll not name the institute. And she's also leading one of the broking firms in Mumbai.
Okay.
She's VP.
Okay, vice president.
Vice president. She has not been able to conceive. It's been 7 or 8 years of marriage. She has not been able to conceive. So in India, that's a taboo.
It's a taboo for a woman.
Yeah. So because when you hear taunts from your relatives and you see your own, sister-in-law having kids, there's a natural tendency that you will approach godmen, astrologers, tantrics, babas, peers, fakir, etc., etc. Oh, easy solution. What is wrong? Medically, she's fine.
And one is conceiving. Let me add here. The second is male child.
Yeah.
It is. I always say that scientifically I can be wrong. It is the job of the man who produces the male sperms.
Yeah.
But with 5,000 years of our spirituality, we have not been able to decode this. Okay, we have subjected women, okay, to utter beatings, harassment, mental torture, whatnot, because they cannot give a male child. So here is where all our astrologers, babas, everybody come into the picture. Please continue, sir.
So she approached someone in West Bengal. I'm naming West Bengal not because it's the capital of black magic or something. That's the cases are. That's where So she approached this gentleman
because he's from there.
From there. So she approached the gentleman, saying that so and so is the problem. The gentleman said, "Okay, fine, I'll make you a kavach, and you come during the Navratri. I will give it to you, hand it over to you, and then within 6 to 8 months you will conceive." Now he charged somewhere around 50,000 rupees. Now money was not a problem for her, and she could easily afford it. She went there on a faith with a husband. When she went, there was a room where the husband was asked to sit and the wife should go to the next room. Then suddenly he said, "Before I give the kavach to you, I need to, infuse energy in certain parts of your body. For that, you need to undress."
Oh my God.
And she, being a educated woman, she went ahead with that process. Mm-hmm. And later on, when I came to know, I said, "You were molested. You yourself are not aware that you were molested." So I kind of told her, like, "Why don't you file a police case?" But she did not. And when I met the husband, I said, how could you let this happen?
So the man also touched her?
Yeah, the
astrologer,
the gentleman, yes.
He touched her, and she allowed it.
She allowed it. I don't know whether
she in a trance?
No, nothing. She was absolutely normal. She was not even drugged. Nothing. She was normal, absolutely normal.
But how do we know? Sometimes hypnotism.
Nothing like that. Because moment she came out, she called me up. She was absolutely normal. And I asked her, "Were you doped? Were you drugged?" She said, "No."
Just for the sake of having a child.
Just for the sake of having a child.
Drug and dope is something different than going in a trance.
No trance, nothing. I asked her, like, did he make you drink something? Did he make you eat? No, nothing like that.
So sexual exploitation
takes place.
I've heard this before. I've heard this so many times.
I'll give you one of my example. There was a friend of mine from Pune who was having a problem regarding, like, sort of paranormal, spooky activities going in a house where she was staying. She had a rented apartment. Now, at the same time, a span of 1 year, she had 3 failed relationships. So she felt that something is wrong with me. So she went to an astrologer. An astrologer said that, this is from Pune, that since you so and so curse is there. The only way, the astrologer could remove the curse if the girl allows the astrologer to get physically, intimate with her. And that has to be a series, maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and so nakshatras, etc., etc.
So they bring nakshatra also.
Yeah,
when to have sex, they bring nakshatra.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that
means when to molest a woman, they're bringing just furthermore astrology.
More technical and genuine. Yeah, that's when she, that's when I came in contact with her. And I like, this is something not astrology or tantra. This is purely,
And this astrologer is famous?
I had never heard about him, so I cannot say.
So then, don't you think that now India is educated?
This is nothing to do with education.
This is nothing to do with education. I'll give you a small example.
But then, are we not enough educated?
When a person is desperate to get her lover back, what were we discussing? You said 7 lakh rupees that man has spent, right, to get his lover back, and that too extramarital affair lover. And the astrologer took 7 lakhs for an extramarital affair. 4 astrologers.
Or maybe more.
Okay, means he went to 4 different, and this is what he spent. And you were telling me he broke the bonds for his child so that he can pay these astrologers. The point is what I was telling you, Shikhaji, is what has happened today. All these educational institutes of astrology has come. All these magazines have come. Okay. Everybody knows. The crooks of astrology, they know one thing, that people believe all these educational institutions, these magazines more. So let me write a technical article. Let me explain things more technically. Let me be very nice and compassionate. Let me add PhD, gold medalist, okay, against my name. Okay. That is how they advertise. Let me add some titles in front of my name. Let me add 5-6 medals against it. Let me, present, okay, I've written 5 books, 6 books, 10 books. And that becomes, see, they have to get better and better at the art. How can they get more people? And it is the educated lot who does not have time. So they want fast food remedy. Fast food astrology, fast food remedy. They're ready to pay. Please tell me more. I have a problem. What I've seen in the last 15 years, and because I know you and me have had this discussion several times. Today, there is medium of Facebook astrology. Before that, it was Yahoo groups. That is the social media astrology. There is a lot of fight sometimes between astrologers. Now, these astrologers, many of them can be tantrics.
Yeah, they can be.
So do they do something against the other astrologer who's fought with them on the public forum?
It's kind of difficult, I would say. Because now, Tantra, there is a lot of spells and all, etc. But there is also a distance barrier. I mean,
but for a good one, the distance barrier is not there.
Good one is very rare.
Distance barrier is not there.
Good one is very rare, and people who are rare, believe me, they know the repercussions of doing such an act.
See, the point is, you earlier spoke about repercussions. Please tell me something. In the last 5,000 years, there might be so many of these tantrics around.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Do not they know? Have they not read Gita? Have they not read Ramayana? Have they not read Mahabharata? Enough to know about karma. So why are they still continuing since so many thousands of years?
The greed for money and the hunger for authority and power eclipses this, that the discrimination.
Exactly. So it's not about they are not worried about what their karma will be.
Problem. I'll come to something. The gentleman that we spoke about, the one who had visited Tibet and all, his advice to many people were, do not get into any institute. Do not go where astrologers are assembling. Because if you go there, there will be groupism. Where there is a groupism, there will be politics. Where there is a politics, there will be a clash of ego. And when there is a clash of ego, ultimately you or someone else will try to prove that he has a bigger ego.
And then this fights and
the cycle is never ending. So I saw him and I heard about him. He does not attend any astrological. That is one of the reasons I think he declined giving the interview. Although he agreed later on, he said, let me not. So I think that's a sane advice.
So that's the same advice that I've been giving my mentor. Never visits any of these seminars. Never visits any where there is groupism. Wherever there is groupism, he's out. Only interest for him is Upanishads now. You know? So tell me, what should a person do in this kind of scenario? Because I keep on hearing every day, hey, this man came on your YouTube channel. Okay. Now, earlier he was charging 500 rupees. Now he's charging 10,000 rupees. Okay. He is taking so much money, but he's not giving me the reading. So how do we discriminate? Even I get fooled by people, and I bring them on our YouTube channel, promote them, and then start hearing bad words about them. So how does I mean, even if I can get fooled after so many years, what will happen to a common man? Amateur. I mean, I can't imagine what must be happening
it's
to them.
difficult to discriminate between who is genuine, who is not. I know some people who are fantastic astrologers. Fantastic, I mean, while giving the readings, maybe I do not know how many people can compete with them. But as a human being, they are probably very questionable.
That is one problem I have always said. In today's Kali Yuga, we're going to have because these guys have to run to the airport. I know you've been signaling over there, but we're going to have a part 2 session where we're going to take horoscopes of astrologers who are tantrics, who are black magicians, and explain what has happened to them or to their clients with horoscopes. We're going to do that with Mr. A. But let me complete this.
Only one small thing.
Yeah.
Is the knowledge of Tantra important to complement astrological?
In the East, astrology has been part of tantric culture. There are dashas which are completely tantric, like Kal Chakra dasha. It is not a normal dasha. It is actually a yogini dasha. These are all tantric dashas. The tantrics, the philosophy of Tantra is based on time. Instead of working for a year, they know that this time if I do the same thing, maybe 108 or 1008, I will get the same result. So why should I work for 365 days? I will only wait for that perfect time. That's how Tantra is based.
So my first guru in astrology said, I will teach you astrology only if you stay away from Tantra. I don't know.
That must be his.
He met the negative Tantras.
Yeah. I am speaking from a positive.
She's talking from a positive point of view.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what has happened is, I'll give you an example. I know one gentleman. Indians go to him, he teaches one knowledge of astrology. Foreigners, when they go to him, okay, he teaches special astrology. And then he says to those women, you must learn Tantra. Because he's a master of Tantra. Why is it only for women and that to foreigner women? Yaar, hamare mein koi kami hai? Huh? Anything less in me? Are you understanding? So this is how you can discriminate. Now, what I was saying, let me end this session with a very important fact. Most people commit the biggest mistake of going and learning astrology or making a guru or somebody who is a brilliant predictor. And what have I always maintained in my Mumbai club meetings? Never learn astrology from such people. Because of two things. One, their intuition is super sharp. You're not learning technique. When you're learning technique, you can replicate it. But if my intuition is super sharp, okay, like right now, I can tell anybody what's the color of your handkerchief. I can tell them. I really can do it, but I can do it with prashna. Somebody will use intuition. So you want to learn my prashna method. Not my intuition. So we get enamored by people who are brilliant predictors or flashy astrologers. People who create images and all that. Okay. Problem is, just see which houses, for an engineer, which house, 5th house, malefics. That's because that's your metal and this and that and technical brain, etc. Okay. But with that malefics, when it becomes extreme malefics, also comes the negative side of those extreme malefics. Same is the case with astrologers. Astrologers, which house? Second house, Vaksiddhi, fifth house, intuition, eighth house, occult. Okay. Here, in Kali Yuga, will malefics perform or benefics perform? It has to be malefics. It has to be malefics. Malefics will perform. So, such astrologers who are brilliant predictors will or can have these combinations. Most of the astrologers who are super brilliant astrologers will have these combinations, except a few like this, like the gentleman who does not want to be known. And let me tell you, I'll end that. Before Indira Gandhi died, she had asked him, that is what she had asked him, can you do something? Or is it inevitable? He said, it's a bit too late now. Now we all know Indira Gandhi died suddenly. So she must have had somebody must have told her something or whatever. Okay. Now this is, of course, you can call it a rumor or whatever you want to call it. But the point is, what me and he have one thing in common. He is extremely well networked all over India. He knows the Jaram Kundli and all the malpractices of all the astrologers. Okay. I know very little. Okay. But both of us always.
My teacher always said, you can never change your career. Do puja, whatever, like properly. Don't go into all this. And
see, when we get to that point, it's a very big discussion. Yeah. I always say, read Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Okay. Parashar Rishi has given upayas. Vishnu Sahasranam, he has given several times in BPHS. So all these discussions, okay, for Sarpadosh he has given upaya, for many things he has given, for this dasha. Why has he given upaya? Brigu Yogavli. Brigu Yogavli, Brigu Rishi is telling Shukracharya, this is the yoga, so this is the result. And this is the upaya. And that upaya is completely detailed described. We have published it in our magazine. It is described. And he says, if this upaya is not done, then he will not reap the benefits. So we have to, problem is all of us are forming opinions, okay, after reading 20 books. But we forget to read classics. Classics. Rishi ko pehla padho. Don't read a modern author first. Read a Rishi. You will not understand, but understand his mind. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. I know we have deviated this because this is just a discussion. We're going to continue with this malpractices of astrologers. I want to open up eyes. The gentleman is not coming in front of camera for many reasons. Okay, he's popular. He's well known, well networked in the industry. Okay, and obviously he also needs to have a life, because after this, only two people will get attacked. Okay, one is me. I'm used to attacks. Second is him, but he needs a life. He needs to have a family life, everything. So we're going to continue this. Mr. A, next time when we meet, I wanted to bring an example for us.
Sure, I'll do that.
Hardcore examples. Yeah. What kind of black magic is practiced in India? Okay, what is happening in India? Okay, why are we educated a lot getting into all this crap? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Thank you.